What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Cantina Corner podcast. Thank you for tuning in to us. As always, grab yourself a nice drink, get comfortable, get cozy. We're getting into another reaction/review here of the finale of the Loki series on Disney Plus, something that we've been very, very excited to cover. And this last episode, I know I always say it every time, and I know probably people fucking think it's stupid, but every episode is better than the last, and this one was phenomenal. I say it every time, but this one was fucking phenomenal. And I will explain, and we will explain why this was phenomenal. I know I always say that, but we will go into detail as to why this is such a fucking huge deal for everything coming out in Marvel. But before we get into that, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube page as you're watching this here on YouTube. Make sure you hit that bell notification, hit all notifications so that you can make sure that every time we make a video live or post a video that you're in the loop so that you can see it first before anybody else. And also, if you can, please follow us on our social medias on Twitter and Facebook at Cantina Corner. And we would greatly appreciate that so we can get your feedback and hear everything that you love about the show. Or if you don't love the show, whatever it is, I don't care. We just want to hear from you, and we will go from there. But what's up, gentlemen? How are you boys doing? My co-hosts here, Cody and Nick. What's up, boys?
Doing good.
Chilling.
Co-host Adam.
Co-host Adam.
Is that how we're doing?
I like it. I like when you did it. So I was like, I'm gonna do this back. Like, it's real official, you know.
Was it like Space Coast, coast to coast, like co-host to co-host?
Basically. Yep.
Well, I like that. But so we had the season finale of Loki, episode 6 on Disney Plus, the finale of what obviously we're going to describe. You know, we'll obviously say, you know, in the end that there's a season 2, which we'll talk about in the end of this episode from the after credit scene. But this was the first finale of the first season of Loki. As always, what was your 1 to 10 scale on what you thought of this episode or the series as a whole, depending on how you want to rate it?
I'll go series as a whole. I'm still gonna put it like a 9 to 10. I think it was just great. It was so good. I think it was a great character to do it on, especially for somebody like me who doesn't know the whole Marvel universe that good, but knows like just Loki from, you know, outside of the Marvel universe, you know, from like Norse mythology and stuff like that. He's kind of always been that allure since I was little and stuff. So I thought it was awesome series.
Okay, well, if it was a 9 out of 10, what was the thing that made it a 9 out of 10 for you? Like, what was the one thing you can pull from it?
I love the subject matter it dealt with the whole time.
Okay.
Just like it makes you think about the purpose and meaning of life, if there is one. Makes you just think about it. I feel like a lot of people get so caught up in the day-to-day bullshit of everything going on and just like, you know, and it's easy to, it's life. But I like the subject matter it dealt with probably the most out of it. I think that's what made every episode 2 like wanting more once it ended. I just like, it really makes you think about stuff, and just it was just a great show. I really enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, for sure. What about you, Cody? What was
terrible.
Your rating? Always is fucking terrible. Every time it's terrible.
My rating as a whole is 10.
Really? A 10 out of 10?
I mean, from what we've seen from Marvel so far, it was way better than the other 2 shows.
Well, yeah, if you're looking at the Disney Plus shows, obviously out of the 2 that they put before this, I would agree with you. This is the best.
Yeah, by far. I mean, writing, characters, everything. Massively better than the other 2.
I really wanted, when the door was opening for the who is last or whatever. No, when the door opened after that. He Who Remains. Well, they never said his actual name in there, right? I didn't catch it at all.
He Who Remains. That's a character.
Okay, but that's okay. So that's just like,
yeah,
I gotcha.
They used that, and then they said like, you know, he was like, oh, you know, I'm called this, and this, but like He Who Remains is the one that they prefaced.
I just didn't know if they were, you know, there's a more official name than that, but if that's
there is, I'll break it down for you.
All right. But I was hoping, just because I thought it'd be hilarious, that when that door opened, it was just Mobius, and he's just like, wow. And then that's it.
Wow.
You thought that's where we were going to get our first, like, wow.
I was just hoping because of that. I was like, this would be hilarious right here.
You guys made it. Wow. That would have been dope. Honestly, before that door opened, I thought, I was like, it could be another Loki. like another Loki variant. It could be Mobius. It could be fucking, Renslayer or like something along those lines. That's what I was thinking. And if it wasn't one of those, I was thinking it was going to be something really big that being a personal, uh, you know, mainstream Marvel fan, I won't lie. I haven't read a lot of the comics. I know like a little bit as far as like the backstory of some, but like Cody always brings up stuff, and then I'm like, I have no fucking idea like who that is. Like, I don't know that deep into the lore. But I was like, it's either going to be someone from the show or it's going to be someone from left field that I have no idea, that once they show it, I'll be like, oh, and that's kind of where I was with like that whole scene. But I want to get your guys' opinion, because obviously when the show started, we kind of got that whole intro where it showed like, it didn't show, but you get the audio of all the different stuff that happened in Marvel, the Wakanda Forever, you get Thor, you get, all those different tidbits kind of showing like that whole span of the sacred timeline, all the different like fast forwards of everything that we've seen, every movie that we've seen. And when it kicked off like that, I was like, oh shit, like where are we about to go? Like, what are they about to show us? Which was really cool, because it was kind of like a fast forward of like, whoop, like start to finish. And then we're bringing it back to this. I thought it was a good flashback to that, which was really cool. They did that stylistically, which was really well done.
It was the best intro on any Marvel thing ever.
Yeah, like
movies, anything. It was the best
like
intro.
It honestly gave me goosebumps, because when I kicked it on this morning and I watched it, first thing I had to roll out of bed. I mean, God damn it, that was the first thing I was putting on was this fucking show. And I heard all that. I was like, oh, it's happening. Like, what's happening? Like, I just went down like memory lane, like within like 5 seconds. It was great.
Yeah.
So it was really cool to hear that. And then when they kicked it off and, they show them walking up to the door and they're doing the whole bit, like you see Sylvie sitting there and she's like, just give me a minute. Like, I've been waiting my entire fucking life for this. Like, let me prep for this moment. And you're like, we've only been here with them for, 6 episodes up to this point. But even though we've been there for 6 episodes, like, you felt her struggle on like, this has been her entire existence since she was a child, that this was the point that she wanted to get to. So the fact that she didn't want to just burst into that door, you almost felt like, me personally, I felt that anxiety where it was like, I feel like I would be like that at that point, like, this is all you've worked towards. And now that you have it, you're like, let me compose myself. Let me make this like exactly what I want it to be. And I felt that the acting and the writing to like set up that moment was fantastic. I don't know how you guys feel about it.
I'd agree. The way they made the characters, that to give you that kind of connection with them throughout the series, because yeah, it is only 6 episodes, but you did feel like everything they were going through, like you got their perspectives and everything. Even the dude at the end when he was sitting there explaining why he was doing everything, like you even at first you're like, oh, this is just some asshole, like, like Mobius was saying, controlling everybody's free will and stuff like that. But as he's going through the story and talking about why he was doing what he was doing, a certain part of you is like, okay, I can kind of agree with this and see what he's saying. Like, I get it. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think yeah, in that regard, they did a great job.
That's what Marvel's always done well. They make you sympathize with the villain. Like Thanos, perfect example. You understood his thought process. If you got rid of half the population, the planet would thrive.
Mm-hmm.
But can't just get rid of half the population. You know what I mean? So they've always done that, and I think it's a great setup for a character that I think is going to be the Thanos threat pretty much throughout all Phase 4.
This guy in particular, you're saying, is going to be possibly set up like that?
He died.
In that timeline. Because
that version of him died.
And whatever. And then, that version of him.
He Who Remains died. So He Who Remains is like an old character, and he is like the person who set up the TVA. But that guy, the actor who played that character, I really like how they spun this. So that actor is signed on for the Ant-Man movie that's coming out, I think next year.
Yeah, I think it's next year.
To play Kang the Conqueror
in the Quantum Verse or Quantumania.
Quantumania, that's what it's called. So people like right away when I saw him, I was like, oh shit, they're just gonna flat out just be like, here he is. But they spun it in a way where, okay, it is him. It's technically a different character because it's a different version of Kang. So he's a variant of Kang.
Mhm.
Okay.
And it seemed like killing him, now all these other Kangs can travel through time and take over this timeline and this multiverse. So
Is that why he gets the moniker the Conqueror, because of that
Yes.
reason? Okay.
that's why he says, like, I've been known as many things. People have called me a conqueror and all that stuff, devourer of worlds or whatever, which is I was kind of like thrown off by that because that's kind of like, I was thinking of Galactus, but I don't know if that was just like an Easter egg, but that's totally irrelevant right now. But I really like how they set that up, because now you can have, like in the Ant-Man movie, you could have them defeat Kang, but you know, there could be another Kang coming right after that. It's going to be interesting to see like where he slides in. Like, is he involved in the Spider-Man movie? Is he involved in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness? Is it all just going out of control and we're going to see these movies from a different point of view in the multiverse going out of control? So it's set up really nicely to be fucking chaotic, which is beautiful.
And that's honestly what makes it really exciting for me, because you know, when he, you know, in the episode said, you know, we broke the threshold, like, you know, saying like, I don't know what's going to happen after this point, because this is the point that I knew. And like everything that happens when, you know, the two Lokis, you know, Sylvie and Loki were fighting, he, you know, there was a reason he was like sitting there in his seat so excited, because he had no idea what was going to happen. You know, it's like we don't know what's going to go forward. And when you see it all branch off after, you know, she kills him, which honestly, I was kind of angry watching her go through that whole process. And you see how much Loki has grown in these past 6 episodes to like realize, like, look, and he even says it in that one line he says where he was like, this is bigger than you and my experience. Like, our experiences with all of this, there's a bigger picture. Like, you need to like see what's going on. Like, yes, we have had our hardships because of this said situation, but we need to think like bigger than just our feelings on what we fucking experienced. And she couldn't get her head wrapped around that. And it kind of reminded me of, you know, like a Star Wars effect, you know, where like she was blinded by anger. She was giving into her hate. Like, she couldn't see past that. She didn't give a fuck. Even if she knew that what she wanted to do was the wrong thing, she still had to fucking go through with it, because she couldn't let go of that hate and anger that she's lived with for her entire existence, you know, like, and I almost felt like when her character was going through that fight with Loki and trying to kill Kang the Conqueror, as we know it now, um, or He Who Remains, you know, you could see in her eyes when she kissed him, which was fucking crazy scene, by the way.
I felt that was
Um,
weird.
it
Just
was
him kissing
weird.
himself. I'm like, this is like the ultimate narcissist right here. Like, it
Yeah, it
was
was
just, it
like,
was weird.
it was funny because when I watched that, you know, everyone says, you know, like, oh, you know, this confirmed and that confirmed, you know, in all these shows. I was like, oh, Loki incest confirmed. Like, I said it out loud. I
Yeah.
was
So it felt like.
like I was like my mom was in the room when I was watching the show, and she's not watched any of it. And like when that happened, I was like, oh, this is uncomfortable. And she's like, what? And I'm like, he's kissing himself. She's like, "You know, that's a female." And I was like, long story, just don't worry about it. I was like, this is just weird.
It's
I was
not his
like,
step bro.
yeah, I was like, I'm happy, but I'm like uncomfortable at the same time. We're like, yeah, you got the girl, but like it's you. Like, I don't know what to do with this. But when that happened, like you can tell she was like, you know, I feel for you, but like I'm not you. And I have to like be true to myself. And it was like this weird, you know, polarity where she knew what the right thing was to do, but she couldn't help herself. She's like, I have to do this because this is all I've lived for, and this is what I need to do to ease my mind, regardless if it's wrong or right. And I think that was such a strong arc to show that, like, even though I was pissed off about it, I'm like, bitch, just fucking calm down for a minute. Like, he's trying to tell you to like calm down and think for 2 fucking seconds. And she was like, nope, even if you're right, I don't care. I have to kill him so I can just let that go. And then whatever it is, I'll deal with it after. And it was just, it was an emotional roller coaster. Like, just that whole fucking situation.
You could almost see instant regret on her face too when she did it.
That's what I'm
Like
saying.
the moment she like pulled the knife out or whatever, she just like on her face was like, I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, well, it's like in real life. I mean, when you go through with something like that and you're like, man, was it really fucking worth it? I don't feel any better,
Yep.
you know?
Yep.
Sometimes the revenge you think you're getting isn't the best thing to do.
No, and that's the thing what most people say, you know, and when you see in movies or in real life when someone's like, you know, like, look, you can go through with this, but it ain't going to bring the person you want back. It ain't going to give you salvation. It ain't going to do this. And someone's just so blinded by rage. They're like, I don't care. And then once they do it, they're like, oh, now I see it, but it's too late, you know? And that was the thing when she even said, and I knew this was the moment when she was realizing that it wasn't the right choice, but she still did it. When she was like, are you not going to beg for your life? He's like, no, you know, and she still did it. And he was like, I'll see you soon. And he winked at her. And that's when she made that face. It's like, it didn't mean shit. Like,
Nope.
it didn't mean anything.
This
And
is
you
about
can-
to be badass, dude. I just
I
can't get
know.
over it.
And that was the thing when she does that and you see everything branch off into just spider webs, I was like obviously in my head I'm excited, but like, you know, the common sense in me, I was like, movie. I was like, all these different movies. I was like, oh, we're gonna get this and this and this, and it just like opens up to just a plethora of just like entertainment for me, even though I know it's gonna be hell for everybody else. I don't know. This episode, when I talked to my father, he was talking about it. I was like, you know, what did you think about it? Because he watched it after I did. And he was like, you know, I was excited to watch it, but I felt a little disappointed, but it was still good. And I said, why? I was like, was it because you saw when they revealed him as just a guy? And obviously he didn't know anything about Kang the Conqueror. And he goes, yeah, I just thought it was a guy. And, you know, they did this and this and then whatever. But when I explained it to him, he was oh, like, oh shit. And I was like, yeah, like, I didn't know so much prior, but when like you really dig into what they really fleshed out, it's like, holy fuck. Like this show sets up, in my opinion, wholeheartedly the like starting point of phase 4. Like fucking crazy. And that's why it was such a big moment.
Yeah. No, I agree. I'm not surprised. I mean, I knew that's what was gonna happen. So
Yep. And that's what you called it out a couple episodes ago when you were talking about Kang. And I was like, I don't know shit about him. I'm not going to look him up. And then when this happened, I was watching other people react to it and watch it. And they're like, oh, it's Kang. And I was like, oh, I guess he was fucking right. I mean, like the minute they showed him, they're like, Kang. And I was like, I just saw a black dude in a purple fucking dress. I don't know.
he played his character fucking awesome too.
That was the other thing I want to talk about. Like he was so interesting.
Yeah.
He stole the fucking show.
Yeah, he was calmly terrifying.
Oh my god. Like how like he was exciting, but like, you know, evil at the same time, and how he just didn't care. And he was like, you know, you have one devil or you can have an infinite number of devils. Like I'm a necessary evil as opposed to, you know, multiple evils. And it was just this whole thing. And even when he said to Sylvie, when she was like, it mattered to me, and he just screamed at her, he's like, grow up, like, shut the fuck up. This is bigger than you. Like, put your feelings aside, you dumb bitch. Like, there's a bigger picture here.
That's what he
Like,
said.
That's what it felt like. I mean, the fact that he jumped over the desk and was like, grow up, you know, like, shut up. You know, and
Yeah.
she's like, my feelings. And he's like, there's a whole fucking universe. And you're just like, me. And then she fucks the whole thing up, you know, and
Yep.
it's like, he was right. You know, he knew he was going to come back.
Sounds familiar.
No matter
Almost
what.
like the Garden of Eden.
Yeah. Almost.
It's just, it goes back. And I think I love when writing in shows harken back to, you know, what I always love talking about, the emotion, feelings. You know, it's like you may know what's right, you may know what you need to do, you may know what the right path is, but because you can't get past what you feel and what you care about, you will voluntarily fuck up everything for everybody else for your own personal fucking satisfaction to just put your own mind at ease, regardless of what happens. And I think that the fact that they were able to write this shit into this show was phenomenal because everything that they did for her up to this point was great. Everything they did to Loki up to this point was great. I mean, Kevin Feige, I can't give him enough credit for all of this.
Who's that?
He's a Disney exec that runs. He's like the Kathleen Kennedy for Star Wars, who fucks everything up.
So he's the total opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's a guy, so. Sorry, I couldn't help but do the State Farm thing.
What's her name? I mean, well, she's a guy, you know.
It has nothing to do with, you know, she doesn't fuck shit up because she's a woman, but she is severely uneducated in Star Wars. So
yeah, I've noticed.
Yeah, Kevin Feige knows what he's doing as far as like giving a shit about this fucking like everything that he's involved in with this, and it's just, oh my god.
The thing is, Kevin Feige realizes where the real money is. You have to have comic book fans invested in the MCU to make it successful. You cannot have regular people. They're not passionate about it. No, you have to get the comic people in. And they've done that to this far. A Black Widow, that might have missed the ball, but you know, I'll give him credit. I'll give him credit, especially if he brings back Hugh Jackman. Because that's a rumor right now.
That'd be dope.
And they just introduced Deadpool to the MCU also, by the way.
Oh, that trailer thing?
Yeah.
So good. It was so good.
It's fucking brilliant.
It was so good.
So brilliant.
Ryan Reynolds, I applaud that motherfucker.
Dude, he could get away with doing that. Only him.
The fact that he was able to, it was like Inception for what he did.
Yeah.
You know, it was like, I'm going to react to my own trailer from another fucking series within another fucking series. Yeah. It was like, it's so layered. It was so good.
Promoting a movie I did under Fox Studios while introducing myself to the MCU and Disney, while making fun of reactors and making fun of shows on all these shows on Disney Plus. Like, it was the most fucking goated thing I've ever seen in my life.
More goated than Joey B.
Yeah, dude. Joey B ain't got shit on this, dude.
Dude, I'm gonna tell you right now, the minute that Ryan Reynolds is like full-fledged in the MCU, he's gonna fucking take like the face of the MCU.
There's a rumor that he's in the Doctor Strange film at some point. I kind of have this weird thing where I hope he just does cameos, like, you know how they always hit like Stan Lee do something like in every show and movie, like it's just Deadpool. Like you cut to Deadpool and he like looks like he's watching with us and like does some sort of commentary. I think that would be great.
It'd be hilarious for sure.
Yeah.
All I can say is that his humor is spot on. Like when he did that spot with Korg before he even started the video, and he was like, "I know you all liked my Cruella trailer last week."
Yeah.
And then he's sitting there with the dog, and he's like, "Where are the fucking dogs?"
Have you seen this yet, Nick? Did you watch
it? Yeah, that one I watched. Yeah.
You watched it? Yeah. It's fucking great.
I think you sent it to me on Twitter.
Yeah.
Dude, that shit was trending number 2 on fucking YouTube and Twitter. Like, it short ass video, and he was killing it. Killing it. Like, he's literally like the next best thing to the sarcastic Tony Stark that the MCU needs. Like, he's fucking amazing.
Way more likable too than that cuck Tony Stark.
You know what's sad? Me and Mason used to love Deadpool before he was mainstream, and now everybody fucking loves the character. It's kind of annoying, to be honest with you. I do appreciate that the character is getting this light, because this is the way Ryan Reynolds plays him is exactly how the character is in the comics. Talks shit about everybody, doesn't care, you know, like it's literally like Ryan Reynolds does like a perfect job imitating his character.
He was born to be that man.
Yeah. Well, there's comics where Deadpool literally describes himself as an uglier Ryan Reynolds. And like, that's honestly, I think I've seen a thing where Ryan Reynolds said he read that comic and he was like, this is the comic, this is a superhero I need to play. And I mean,
Dude,
he
he's
went
just
in on
perfect.
it and he's perfect for it.
He's perfect, and he'll be great in the MCU when he's full fledged in the MCU. I'm gonna be so excited. Like,
Yeah.
I want him to be making dick jokes against Thanos in a weird fucking multiverse timeline. Like, that's what I want. I want that.
Yeah. Thanos, can we switch names? Yeah.
Oh, like when he says that line, I know we're getting off track here a little bit from Loki, but like when he says that line in Deadpool 2 where he looks at the guy who,
Supersonic what?
he's fighting the guy who voices Thanos as the bad guy, Cable, in
Cable, yeah.
Deadpool 2, and he's
That's
like,
right.
pump the hate brakes, Thanos. You
Yeah.
know, it's so good.
That's the
good.
best part about Deadpool is he knows he's in a comic. So they do a great job of him knowing he's in a movie, like talking to the audience in the intros and stuff, and it's great.
But what makes it amazing is he's always put full control into knowing that he's like, I know exactly what everyone loves, and this is what we're gonna do. Like, he spent his own money to make sure that
Yeah.
it's perfect.
Yeah, Fox didn't even want to make that movie, the first one. I mean,
Nope.
he
The
made
first
a
Deadpool.
he made a short, yeah, he made like a short little film of him playing the character, and it fucking exploded. Obviously, and yeah, leaked. It got leaked, and Fox was like, "All right, you can make a movie," but they gave him like a low budget. They wanted it to fail, and it just didn't.
I remember when that first one came out. You told me, you're like, I know you're not really big into the comic books and stuff. He's
Yeah.
like, you'll enjoy this one.
Yeah,
it was hilarious. It was good.
it's great. That whole intro. My boyfriend said this is a superhero movie. He just turned that guy into a fucking kebab.
They released it on Valentine's Day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's great, man.
But yeah, I mean, obviously, everyone listening and watching, you can see, like, the fact that we're talking about this stuff is because of what happened in this episode. Like, we are opening up so many goddamn doors to what's going to happen in phase 4 of the MC universe. It's going to be insane.
Yeah,
Like, fucking insane.
that's why I brought up bringing back Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, because now you can do it. It literally would fit in with what's going on.
You could do anything.
And then you could have Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool in the same fucking scene. It'd be the greatest thing in MCU history.
Without being the Wolverine origin movie.
Yeah.
Because that was
Doesn't he die in that or something?
Who?
One of them. I only remember part of it from the one Deadpool movie or something
he's in
like
like
that.
an explode. They fuck up Deadpool so bad in that movie.
There's the
They
Wolverine
don't even
origin.
call him Deadpool. They call him Weapon X.
Yeah, there's a Wolverine origin movie where they have Deadpool, which is the first time you see Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool without the costume, doing the sword shit, whatever. And then in the end of that movie, they like medically removed his mouth, gave him fucking eye beams, from the fucking X-Men guy and all this shit. And it was like, what the fuck are you doing? And he was like, oh, you find a way to, so-and-so found a way to shut you up. It's like, you literally took away the mark with the mouth. Like, that's his nickname. You took away the one thing that made him what he was, and then give him extra powers. And it was like, what are you doing? And that's why in the Deadpool movie, in the after credits, you see him going in the back of the timeline, showing all the bad things Ryan Reynolds ever did. And one of them was that Deadpool in that Wolverine Origins, and he fucking just shot him in the head. And he was like, sorry, just cleaning up the timelines. And he just fucking keeps shooting him in the fucking head as he's on the ground.
There's a deleted scene of that.
Is there?
Yeah. He chokes out baby Hitler. They showed it in a pre-showing, and the audience found it like super because it's literally they show a baby and then it says Hitler.
Got a little mustache or something too.
Dude.
That would be hilarious.
You can find it online, but it's fucking great. He just cracks his knuckle and he's like, maximum effort.
Dude, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look that up. The minute we're done recording this, I'm looking that fucking up.
Yeah.
That's fucking great. But yes, that is the optimism that we have, because I mean, everything that we got going on is, I mean, it's full fucking balls to the wall at this point.
Yeah.
Everything that this show did from today is, I mean, I'm just fucking stoked. I mean, I don't. If there's to end this off, is there a specific thing that you're looking most forward to? Obviously, we know we've got the new Spider-Man movie coming out.
Yep, that's it right there.
That's gonna be great.
Yeah.
Is that okay? Because I was gonna ask if you're more.
I want to see William Dafoe. I want to see Tobey Maguire. I want to see them all again.
Well, obviously, I know you're excited about that, but I was gonna ask if you're excited about that more, or if you're excited about the Doctor Strange movie. One of those two, because those are the two big ones coming up. Okay.
I am excited for Doctor Strange, but I'm more excited. I want to see William Dafoe's Green Goblin. I want to see Tobey Maguire.
So great. Yeah, I'm obviously more excited for Spider-Man. I don't even really know Doctor Strange at all, so don't care.
It's Benedict Cumberbatch, dude. That's all you need to know.
That's all I know. That's all I know. And that's
Khan, dude. Not Kang. He's Khan, dude.
Khan. Wasn't that in Star Trek?
Star Trek, yep.
That was a good movie.
He played Khan.
That was great.
Listen, Benedict Cumberbatch got in a car accident.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
My hands. And then they were like, oh, focus your chi. And he was like, I'm a mystical being.
That's how he got his powers in a car accident.
In a nutshell.
I do want to say I want to ask you guys something about, it has to do with Loki and the timeline and everything. Do you remember when in, I believe it's Endgame, when they're going back in time and the Hulk goes back in time to ask the source, what the fuck's that bitch's name? The sorceress, the bald bitch that trains, what's her name?
I know what you're talking about.
And she shows him the timeline, and the Infinity Stones are like around them, and she's like, this is what would happen if I give you this one. And like the timeline starts going crazy. It's really crazy that they like foreshadowed that way back then, and like that she had some knowledge of what was going on and how it was staying within itself. And then it makes you think, like, when Strange was the Sorcerer Supreme, did he have knowledge of that because he learned all this stuff and read about all this stuff? So when he goes back in time and he finds out that there's one way that they beat Thanos, is it one way that they beat Thanos like over all those times, or is it one way they do it without creating a Nexus event where Doctor Strange knew there's only one way we can do this without creating a Nexus event and keeping the timeline within itself? That's a crazy theory to think about.
I mean, that is because, I mean, there's so many, I mean, the fact that he went through so many different possibilities, it's like, you can't tell me and going to your point, you can't tell me there's a possibility multiple where like they could have succeeded, but it would have caused, you know, problems.
Maybe a Nexus event, and he was aware of that, but there was one way they could do it without doing that.
Yeah, exactly. Because I mean, you look at what you know, Kang the Conqueror did when they were, you know, talking to him, and he was like, you know, everything has to be a set way in order for this to not like fuck up.
It's He Who Remains, dude.
Okay, He Who Remains. He Who Remains said, you know, we have to do this so it not fucks up. And you know, Doctor Strange was like, this is the only way where we can keep it fucking contained and still win.
Yeah.
So I can see that. That's a fucking good point, man. That's fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, I saw that on TikTok. I did not come up with that myself.
I'm just saying, there's still a fantastic.
No, I know. I just wanted to bring it up because I thought it was like great. It's one of the few TikToks I've seen where I'm like, oh, this person has a great point. Because, you know, people say some dumbass shit, dude. Dumbass shit. I saw somebody today. They were like, oh, watching Loki episode 5. And, you know, they do that. I noticed something. Like, no, you didn't. You're a fucking retard, dude. But anyways, there was a fucking subway train there. So the guy shows, you know, when Tobey Maguire is stopping the train like this, and I'm like, what? Every fucking sub car looks like that, you jackass. Like, I fucking hate people, dude. I fucking hate them. The guy had like 80,000 views too. I was like, these people are stupid.
Yep. But everyone's sharing it like, oh,
bro, Spider-Man, bro.
Back before they even were figuring out all this shit, they knew it. And it's like, they weren't even like making this to even know what they were doing. So the fact that you're even connecting this, like, you're retarded.
Yeah.
Like, these movies were self-contained at this point. Like, you're a fucking moron.
Here's what it is, dude. I just had to get that off my chest. Sorry.
Fucking clout chasers, dude. Look at me.
Sounds
And,
familiar.
I wanted to say something, but I was gonna, just let that one go.
Hey, pump the hate brakes, Thanos. All right, like, pump the hate brakes. Well, is there anything else you guys want to hit on with this episode, or the finale, I should say, before we wrap this up? 'Cause,
No.
I mean, I pretty much fleshed out all my points.
Hopefully, season 2 is more than 6 episodes if they're gonna be this good.
That's what I want to ask. When do you think season 2 is going to come out? Do you think it's going to come out after these first 2 big movies, or do you think it's
Yes.
going to come out in between?
I think it'll come out. I don't know when Ant-Man's coming out.
2022.
Right, but I don't know if it's beginning of the year. It's got to be the end of the year.
Yeah,
I
it would
bet
probably
it
be.
comes out before Ant-Man. I bet you season 2 leads in directly to what happens in Ant-Man, because Ant-Man is Quantum Mania. I think fully now. I had that theory earlier that this is in the quantum realm.
Yeah.
Not the stupid theories that people saw it.
Yeah. that
Fucking
little city
stupid
or
shit.
whatever. Yeah.
But I do think it is taking place in the quantum realm, and I do think you'll get season 2 before you get Ant-Man, and they will directly lead this into, like, maybe they'll notice a spike or something going on in the quantum realm, and that's what'll start all this shit.
Okay. What about you, Nick? Do you agree, or do you have a different opinion?
I mean,
He's got no idea what I just said.
I'm not gonna. No, I know what you said, but I'm not gonna disagree. I have a different opinion, dude. I'm new to this whole Marvel Universe stuff, so I'm just taking it as it goes. I got no
I got a good
expectation of
track
when it's gonna come
record,
out or
dude.
anything like that. That's it. I'll just let him do what he needs to do, dude. That's. I'm just here for the ride, dude, and I'm
3
enjoying
Disney
it. It's
Plus
good.
shows and 3 for 3, dude.
Yeah, and honestly, like I know I said before, but there's no way I'm going back and watching WandaVision. I ain't wasting my time. This is too good. I'm good. And I was just looking at Falcon and Winter Soldier earlier, and I was like, as time has gone on since I finished that series, I was like, it was kind of okay, honestly.
I
It
mean,
was like,
WandaVision is still fun to watch. It's not a waste. I mean, I understand that you don't want to be in a rush to it. I'm telling you, there's no rush for it, but it's still a good series. Like, it's interesting and fun to watch, but it's not something that I would say is a necessary thing to move forward with what we're getting into.
The first
So-
2 episodes are a struggle to get through, though.
I do.
Yeah, they are.
Well, I'm not even gonna bother. I do have a question though before we do wrap this up, because I had one when it was going on during the episode, because I don't know a lot of this stuff going on. But that dude, the He Who Remains, that animal or creature or whatever that he found that was created from all the multiverse
Mhm.
like fighting and all that, and Loki knew who it was or
Goliath.
whatever. What's his name?
Elias.
Eliath. Now, what is that? What movie and stuff is that? Is that in any movie, or do you
Nope.
only hear about it or something?
he's
Is
in a
that it?
comic.
Like, oh, it's just comic.
He is. That's another like hint towards Kang, because he is in a comic. He's like Kang's, I don't want to say guard dog because that's so overused, but
like pet.
yeah.
Was it this? Was it the cloud thing or whatever that she enchanted?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's him.
Okay.
That's
Oh, okay.
He devours
yeah.
time. That's what he said. Like, he devours time and everything.
Okay.
That's why even like when you saw him, the battleship that got sent there, and the people got turned into like skeletons and shit, but then even the boat itself aged after he was through it, like, because he like just literally just devours time.
Okay.
So
Yeah, he's kind of like the etch-a-sketch of like what happens to when people go to the void. Once he passes through them, it's like never happened. He just
I gotcha.
Yeah.
That's I was curious.
it's crazy too. I did see that there's some conspiracy theory. I think it's on the East Coast somewhere where a battleship was supposedly went missing, and then it disappeared for a little bit, and then it reappeared in real life, and supposedly that's the name they put on the ship to make it seem like this is where it went. It was like a little Easter egg I saw, and I was like, Jesus. It's a good catch by whoever fucking caught that.
jeez, that's crazy.
People got too much fucking time on their hands.
It's conspiracy people, man. That's crazy though. Well, I think we can wrap it up. We pretty much touch on everything that we're going to touch on with this episode or this finale of this series. 6 episodes of Loki on Disney Plus. If you haven't watched all of them, please do. It's fucking fantastic. It's going to set everything up that you need to know As far as phase 4 with Marvel coming up with these big movies that we're going to be releasing here soon, now that the world's getting back to normal, with COVID kind of on the downcline, movie theaters opening back up, there's going to be a lot of Marvel stuff coming out. So definitely check out Loki. If you want to check out Captain Marvel, if you want to check out WandaVision, those are good. I would say probably in the tier of things, WandaVision being on the bottom, Captain Marvel
Trash.
It's there,
It's not
but
there.
you don't need to see it.
Brie
but
Larson's a fucking bitch.
Well, yeah, or not Captain. Okay, not Captain Marvel. Falcon and Winter Soldier.
There you
I'm
go.
sorry.
I just was gonna keep talking shit about her until you realize what you said.
Thank you, because I fucking hate.
It's been a long week.
Yeah, it's always been a long week. But Falcon and Winter Soldier, I would say, if you're not going to watch the whole series, at least look online to see what happened with it, because you can get enough from that. But definitely follow up with the series on Loki. Watch that shit, because it's going to set up everything that we're going to go into with Phase 4 and Marvel. And make sure you subscribe to this page so that we can always keep you up to date with our thoughts and opinions and our reactions on everything that we're going to go on with talking about this, and our theories, and obviously Cody's fucking insight with everything that he always calls out before me and Nick fucking even know anything about it. So you can always get that upper hand. And make sure you check us out on Facebook and Twitter, and we greatly appreciate it. And we will see you fucking next time.
Peace.
Yeah.